Hey, welcome to Breaking Bread, hosted by me, Crunk Chocolate, a show where we break verbal bread with a quote-unquote end of me. Whenever Manchester City has an upcoming match, I will be here having a conversation with the supporter of City's upcoming opponent. Shout out to all our Patreon members who will be enjoying this full episode. If you are watching on YouTube, you're listening on a podcast platform, and you're like, man, this episode's only 11 minutes? Why? That's because you need to subscribe to Patreon, which you can also, once you subscribe to our Patreon, you can put the RSS feed onto your podcast platform. So everything on our Patreon pops up on your podcasting apps. You don't have to just watch it on Patreon. Tons of fantastic things that we offer for $6 a month. Today, we're talking Champions League, the champions. And no, that wasn't planned, but he is the homie. Your favorite wrestling podcast, stablemate, one of the brothers. Give it up for B-Flem. How's it going, friend?
Good. Happy to be here. Happy to be talking footy. We don't really get to talk. We're normally talking wrestling. We don't really get to talk.
I know, right?
Nice change of pace.
He's obviously he's here to talk Dortmund, so he's a supporter of the Bundesliga. Also, shout out to 50 Plus Donor. And I have my English football love, I guess. So we're here. This is when they're about to face each other. Not kind of. They are about to face each other. I am very much looking forward to having this conversation because, Dortmund, they're an interesting club, like with the culture. And yeah, I'm just excited to hear a little bit about this. Find out if Job is actually as big of a flop as it seems like from what I'm getting, but also I'm just surmising that off of that really bad goal that he gave up against Bayern. Sorry to, I guess, talk about a very painful thing, but you did win the 50 Plus Donor derby, so congratulations for that.
Thank you. It doesn't feel like a win, to be honest. I don't know if you know this a scenario around that, but it was they were tied for 80 minutes, and a Colin player completely blew out his knee.
Oh,
and they had used up all their subs, so they had to finish the match with 10 men.
Oh no!
Yeah. So I personally recognize that as a 0-0 draw.
He should have blew his knee and then hit his head and then acted like he's concussed. So that way they could use the sub. It'd be a concussion sub.
Yeah.
That's a trick. The concussion sub, yes. Injury, fuck that dude. Let him roll to the sidelines and he'll be all right. Which is actually what I did when I tore my ACL. I played rugby, and it was a kickoff, and I was actually about to score. I had broken through all these tackles, and I just had one last guy that I needed to pass, and I went to juke, and I cut with my left, and it just went pop, and I fell. The ball went the other way, and I just truly just barrel rolled myself to the sideline and was just oh, my knee.
Man, you could have gone pro if it weren't for that injury.
I was so close. I could have swore I was going to be playing for the USA Eagles. They're the national team, which is they're not great. So that probably would not have been too difficult. Let's start with something light and fun before we start talking about Dortmund. What is something that you think is overrated about football?
Ooh, overrated?
Overrated.
Oh, we were actually having this discussion I don't know if I necessarily say overrated. It may be properly rated, but we were just having this discussion in our 50 Plus Donor Discord recently. I think that's where it was at. But the refereeing has been pretty bad. And I think I'll say VAR. I'll say VAR is overrated because it has decreased the quality of refereeing.
What do you mean? Why? Because
So referees are getting overly reliant on VAR to the point
okay.
where they make the wrong call, and then they'll just have VAR to back it up. Now this happened. So the first and second rounds of the DFB Pokal, they don't use VAR at all.
Oh,
So that exposed, I think, particularly in the Bayern Cologne game, there was a call that one of the goals that Bayern scored should have been offside, and it wasn't. They didn't call it, and they couldn't go back in VAR to check it.
the ref forgot that there's no VAR. It's like, oh right,
Yeah, you're right.
my
But,
bad, my bad.
right, but there's definitely been it's definitely gotten to the point, I think, where they're too reliant on VAR to where in those situations where they can't rely on it, the calls have been 50-50 at best. So
I'm with you. It's it's trouble everywhere, and the rules differ, and now there's this new thing. Oh no, I'm mixing up football and football. So yeah, no VAR. I don't like it. It is what it is, because people say that VAR is supposed to be used to get the questionable calls correct, but very rarely is that happening. And then oftentimes VAR it's used incorrectly. Like the play will go, and then VAR will be like, "Hey, there was this one tiny little moment that you could potentially call a handball," and I don't know. Sometimes with stuff like that, unless it's egregious, where the person like jumps up and like it hits their hand, but usually it's the person's turning, and because they like turn so quickly, the arm is out and it hits the hand. Yeah, and like if the ref didn't see it at that moment, just like let it go. You're supposed to correct the incorrect calls, not be like, "Hey, you missed something, dumb." Like, sometimes let it miss, and oftentimes you're then arguing if VAR should. Either way, as fans, we're going to end up arguing about something or debating whether it's a call or not. Well, it doesn't really matter if VAR calls it right, because we're just going to be debating should VAR have stepped into that. So, okay, I'm with you. VAR is often ridiculed on here. What is something that is underrated about football?
Underrated? I'd say lower tiers of football. We talk regularly about the second tier of the Bundesliga on 50 Plus Donor. It is absolute chaos, and it is so fun. Don't pay attention to who's first in the league right now. But it's at least last season, like at all points of the season, it was no more than a 3-point gap between first and second place. At most times, it was a 3-point gap between first and fifth, or first and sixth. The table is always moving. All the games are more often than not entertaining. It is one of the most unpredictable leagues. You can speak on the championship a little more if it's kind of like that, but at least from my experience being like paying attention to the second Bundesliga, lower tiers of soccer need a little more attention than they get.
Championship does pretty decent. It is very chaotic though. Like they play more games than the Premier League because there's not like Champions League or anything for them. So they play so many games. There's basically like a match every 4 days for them, every 3-4 days. So it's just continuous. It is very physical. The fans are a lot better. Like the crowds, like people lose their minds about some of these calls, and that's what I do enjoy the energy of that. I'm trying to get into League One, but it gets real bad because there are certain teams will just be kicking it long ball back and forth, and then it's just jumping, heading the ball around. It's like, what is this? And then I just turn to I'll watch the second League of Bundesliga. What is funny, listeners, I was like, I'm gonna know B-Flem. I'm gonna root for Schalke, and because technically Werder Bremen is my Bundesliga team, and I was like, I want to pay attention to the second Bundesliga a little bit more. let me pick a team, and I saw that they were there, and legitimately they lost the first 2 games, and I was like, I'm over this. And then they went on and they haven't lost a match since.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to become a Schalke fan back so then they can start losing.
So that they can, I appreciate that.
Okay, that's it. I'm watching the Schalke game this week and I'm back in. Because I was like, yeah, they're a shade of blue. Like, it's fun. I can annoy my friend. It's good. I was like, oh, I don't like this losing stuff. This sucks. Okay, well, let's talk about the summer transfer window with Dortmund. Dortmund, they remind me, there are a few clubs in the Premier League that move similarly to Dortmund, where you get these young, incredibly talented players, and some of them hit, some of them don't, but usually you buy low to sell very high, and that's really the Brighton model at this moment. They are the ones who have done it most successfully. Dortmund have more success, but also they've been in the Bundesliga